All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Arena podcast, aka the Wopcast.
Wap.
Today, Firas and I are joined by Thompsin for the release of the new units. Thanks for joining us, man. So, today we just got, a bunch of, it was a pretty big update. There's a bunch of quality of life stuff and everything, but the big change is obviously we just got a new family of mostly attack type, aggressive units, the Puppet Masters or Puppeteers, whatever they're called.
Puppeteers.
Um, But yeah, what are your guys' first impressions on them before we go into the individual ones?
Thompson.
think uh I think the water one's the best one. And then
Yeah,
and then maybe the fire one has usages. I can even see the wind one have usages, but haven't really got to test out how powerful skill 2 is. It looks like there's a resist check on the stun and then resist check on the bomb,
yeah, there
but there's
is.
on after the
Yeah,
bomb.
yep. And I was super confused like when I first read that skill because it made it sound like the bomb only had a 50% chance to stun because like it's in the same sentence. They didn't separate the bomb and the stun chance like from each other. They just made it sound like it's like one thing. Like this is the bomb's stun, but it's not. She tries to stun you first, and then she also puts a bomb on you.
Wait, she
Um,
does two separate effects on that skill?
yeah, it's a just a
Oh,
single target, like 50% stun, almost like a Monkey King S1, and then also puts a bomb on your head.
it's like not an upgrade of John's ability, but it's just a different way, but on an S2. What's the cooldown on it? Check.
I'm not sure, but yeah, if you wanna bring up the skills of the fire one, your screen's showing now. So
Hey,
yeah,
Thompson.
they all got the first skill where they get 20% bar on every attack. It's all right. I mean, that's a pretty good first skill. I don't know what you guys think.
It is good. If
It makes me want to try triple revenge on like all
Yeah,
of them. What happens when they cut?
that
I'm
actually
not,
like makes me wonder about the dark one because I feel like the dark one is like really really bad, but maybe now if triple revenge is potentially good, then that could potentially work. I don't know.
The dark one seems pretty crazy. Even the light one seems okay too. Because like the light one you can go on triple revenge. It doesn't need to
Yeah,
be them, right?
yeah, light for sure. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good S1. I mean, it's substantially worse than Oracle's S1, which is kind of weird because like the rest of their skills are also like a little bit worse than Oracle on average.
yeah.
So it's weird that you'd also have a lesser version of the S1, but it's nice that you don't have to be crit rate, I guess.
I mean, don't you feel like they could have went a different route where it's like skill 1, you could summon like a little puppet to deal
Oh, they could
like
have done so much stuff.
like
Yeah, this
like
is such a cool
heal
concept for a
people,
unit.
control like a unit to hit another unit.
Yep.
Like where is the
I
creativity?
I know, dude. When I first saw Puppet Masters, I was like, "Holy crap, we're getting some nuts like mechanics, like mind control mechanics, or like control like one of your other units and buff it to do something, or like there's just none of it. We just got pretty generic units, to be
Very
honest."
Yeah,
optimistic.
really generic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're just a little overly optimistic about what what's going to
Yeah,
be outputted. I
yeah,
think for a new family, though, it is a pretty decent at first launch release compared to the other units we recently got. Like they're actually
yeah,
something you want to try out right away.
yeah. Cookies were a massive dud. Honestly, Battle Angels were too, the regular element
They pretty
ones.
much were. Hmm.
So it's nice to have some like that actually are intriguing.
Yeah,
Well, the
exactly.
fire one on Violent is really good with Nephthys, and then the wind one, I mean the
Yep.
water one on Swift is really good with Gianna. So it's
Yeah,
like,
you're right. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like Nephthys and Gianna. It's
Dude,
it's
the
fun.
the water one with Gianna is just so toxic. Like I also if you want to jump to the water one, yeah, you got it. Like that second skill, they didn't learn from Shizuka. She can use it on herself. So
Yeah,
even if you want to just like S3 on turn one, like let's say you're using it like a follow up and just S3 on turn one, you can then just S2 yourself and you're one turn away from S3 again. which is a 1-turn cooldown, 1-turn freeze. It's like,
But most of the time, you'll be S2ing like a Gianna.
yeah, you're
But
usually doing an ally, yeah, but
it kind of reminds me of the Second Awakened Elucia, the water fairy.
yep,
Yeah,
Elucia.
Yeah.
Alucia. Yeah.
Elucia, yeah.
but that third skill's so good too, though. It's such a heavy like Josephine counter because it does the cooldown first and then it freezes them, so you can just put an entire team down and Josephine won't even she won't go off.
Resist, man.
Huh? She is gonna
Just
resist.
resist.
Yeah.
It will always
It's gonna be
resist.
the only unit that does
Or
the.
Josephine will get frozen, and then she'll violent proc out of freeze. And
Yep.
then
And then she'll have her
back up.
passive again. Yep.
Dude, all right. I do have a question before we go on.
Yeah, go
How
ahead.
do you guys like ruining your? I have 2 units I have a hard time ruining. One is like Gil crit rate or no crit rate, and like Josephine. Like, how do you guys ruin Josephine? You know, like
I don't
it's-
play that
it's
type
tough.
of unit.
I ruined my Josephine like plus 170, plus 180 to act as a stripper.
Uh-huh.
Like on a crit damage slot 4. I'm not a crazy big fan of it. Like,
What
I'm
if
looking at your I don't like it on crit damage. I think that's my problem is I put it on
Oh.
crit damage. Attack slot 4 is probably better. Like I don't think
Yeah, but
chasing crit
and
damage.
if it's attack slot 4, then you get no shield.
But you do a little more damage.
Yeah,
but like,
mine's speed crit damage attack right now. My Josephine. So,
Got it. Speed crit damage attack.
Yeah.
But it deals like I want to say like 5k to 7k.
yeah, at
per-
best. Yeah.
But it doesn't have. It has no accuracy.
Yep. Yeah, mine's low accuracy. And the S2
Yeah.
does nothing because it's HP scaling and you don't have any crit rate on it. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I feel
So-
like Josephine didn't change at all, except for the fact that people are picking her more now, which I hate. 'Cause I hate fighting her. She's so frustrating.
And for my GUI, I do put her on crit rate. I don't think having her on not crit rate is there's any point. Even if you only take her into Shizuka Ragdoll combos, like having that. I think the low crit there's no point. Like you want her to still do something. If she can go S1 into S2, she will do more damage. Karma scaling is actually not that bad, but like you have like 0 damage. You have like 0.
I don't know. Like these units work fine the way I ruin them, but I've seen other people ruin them differently. That's why I have I really don't know how I should have it ruined, you know, because I really like them the way they are right now. But I see
it's
like
working for you, then it's
Matsu and some of the Japanese people do crit damage and different builds. So that's what I'm asking you guys as well.
It's because GUI gets the additional what was it? HP scaling, I think. If they have karma on it, it's so specific. It's so specific. I
If they
hate
have
it.
karma on them.
Yeah. They have
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I don't know.
I still think
I
she's
just-
pretty good, though. Even with that being weird, like, she's still a pretty good unit. I mean, I don't have her, and I don't think I'd use her even if I did, but I fight her a lot, and
Mhm.
she's pretty impactful. Like, she really throws a wrench in your team if she picks up a couple despair stones.
Yeah,
They
and
would
she gets
copy
despair
you.
stuns.
Yeah, it has to be. Like, the karma and the whatever, you don't even, like, acknowledge it. It's if she gets a couple despair stuns on her cuts, then you're like, oh, fine. Like,
For me, it's even more Luxaki. For me, it's like if it resists like a Theomars or a Tessa or
yep.
you know, if it resists anything, like oh my god, it's like it's game over.
Yep.
The 100 res build is pretty good. I think I might have to copy
No.
something like that. I think your build is probably the better one.
I've been trying out. I went to crit rate and then I switched back to resist. So
Oh, okay.
you know, everybody likes their.
Yeah.
You
But
can
yeah,
edit the
for the puppeteers, I mean, do you have the wind one? I mean, we can talk about that one real quick if you bring that girl up. So I mean, I don't know what you guys think about this one. This is like a really weird unit to me. Like, she's never gonna lose a 1 versus 1, right? Like, it's basically impossible for her to lose a 1v1, right? But that's like the only use case that I see for her.
It has to be on violent if you want to not lose a 1v1. Because if it's on like Swift, it could still lose, right?
I guess it could still lose, yeah. But like, if you're just like, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, obviously, if you're 1v1s versus like a Juno, then yeah, you lose that. But like, I don't know. It's just really, she seems pretty solid to me versus like Shizuka's and stuff like that.
They all have really big weakness. They all are very susceptible to like damage dealers, like Masha or
Yeah,
like
they're
Dominic.
flimsy. Yeah.
Yo, look at their stats.
Yep.
Holy,
They're all
yeah,
attack types, pretty much.
look at the HP one. Oh god, look at the HP one of the fire.
Yep.
That's just your basic fire unit. Like all the fire units have that same stat.
And
pretty much.
that's probably speed HP that you have on your build right now too, right? And it doesn't even reach 30k. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
The blue one, yeah, the blue one's wait, that's support typing.
It's still low. She's still squishy.
That's
still pretty squishy.
It doesn't even need attack. It has 700 attack.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like she does not have support stat like distribution. It's really weird that they made the water one support, but then still gave her attack type distribution pretty much.
Odd.
A Dominic proc and like you're like chop and you're dead.
Yeah.
I think Ethna just one shot you too.
Ethna, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethna shut you down right away. But for the win one though, I don't know.
Ethna? How do you guys have your Ethna ruined? Like, is it like violent? Is it on
I like Swift.
I went Swift as well. Just try to shut down something. That's the only hope I use, or the only dream I have for Ethna is to shut down something turn 1.
Do you guys feel like skill 2 is like so good right now?
It's
so
good. You can literally skill 2 like with Swift. You can just send your skill 2 on turn 1 for just because, and then you just lap again, and you just now you clap something. You have nothing to worry about.
I was showing Firas in the meetup how Ragdoll is. Oh my god.
Yeah. Rock is so underused, man.
Ragdoll's so good now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone's sleeping on it.
No one's sleeping on Ragdoll, man.
Are you feeling like you're fully recovered from Orlando now? Because I know you got sick too.
Yeah, what the hell happened to you guys down there?
RSV.
Huh?
I'm sure. I got RSV. It's like some type of flu that's been going around with like that. Yeah, I got a flu.
But you tested negative for COVID too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, so did I. But I was like on death's door.
4 months ago. Yeah.
Then you're still like semi-immune or something. I'm still.
Yeah, I got it ready. But this
I was dying, and I still just have a cough that's lingering. Goes on and off. I was just curious if you still recovered by now. Back to the wind puppet though. Before I forget, I don't see the point of it. This looks like another what's his name? Zen to me. The wind. What's his name? God damn it.
Zen?
Shadow.
No, the difference with Zen is he's so close. She's not close. she's weird.
I don't know. Like I feel like you say she's really good 1v1. I feel like she'll be pretty good 2v1.
Like to opposing units versus her. She could
Silence one and then bomb one, right?
Yeah, she can handle that situation pretty well. Yeah.
So like 1-on-1, she'll win, but 2-on-1, I think she'll win too.
Yeah, but I like units like that though, because you can kind of just like you can play the match like to that end game. Like you can look at the opponent's team and be like, these are the 2 units I have to remove, and then I know that this chick's gonna win out from there on. You know, which
that'd be interesting.
It's valuable, to have, but there's other units that also do that probably better, so it's tough. Like Dominic, for example, obviously just shreds things, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's too many passives for this thing to be viable anywhere. I just can't see it. I don't know what you guys are seeing. I'm trying to think of it, but
bomb is a great skill. And the fact that she also just passively shuts a unit down every single turn is pretty good. I don't know.
But everyone and their dog nowadays always has a Veramos Tetra Runes. And when you see these units come early enough, you're going to slap them down just like you would slap it against any of the other bombers. I just don't see it. being
Yeah,
heavily.
it's niche. It's really niche, but
The water one, I really see it being spammed. That one's busted, really busted to me. But the fire one for sure for its S3. The wind one, I just see it being the typical wind unit that has no benefit, and we'll see it buffed in like 3-4 patches.
yeah, water just seems like one of those units where it's like if you're a turn 1 player, it's similar to like Triton and Sekhmet and stuff like that, where it's like if you don't have it in your arsenal, like you're just at such a massive disadvantage. It's not a unit you're going to pick every game, but it's like if you don't have her for the turn 1 battles, it just feels really hard.
I also feel like for the Tetra Vermos, like yes, it's pretty decent against the wind one, but Tetra and Vermos, like they really depend on like turn order. And then like this one kind of messes up their turn order, so that makes a huge difference when they're like fighting each other.
It
Yeah.
could.
Because
If it
then
did,
like the Tetra is going to move too early, and then everything else will be stunned, or vice versa. You know.
Yeah, if the Tetra's in front of stuff to cleanse, it's the Tetra that her passive goes to push back. It's just pretty good. But I was really hoping we'd get an Oblivion like out of this new set of units, and like this would have been a sick unit to have Oblivion instead of Silence, or maybe Oblivion and Silence. Fuck it.
double it up.
No, whoa, Oblivion on her passive.
That would be sick, dude. I mean, if you think about it, it's literally Tessa's passive, but she can't target it, right? Like the target's chosen for her. Tessa just gets to do it. You know what I mean?
She'll be too strong with Oblivion. And a bomb? Oh, that's too crazy.
No, I want. Come on, man. We need Oblivion units. We need good ones. I love Tessa, but he's the only one.
I would say her next evolution is just like attack bar decreased by like 40% or something.
Or if it's an absorb or something.
Oh, absorb will be sick. Yeah, like 20% absorb.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the regular element ones, I think they did a pretty decent job. I mean, I don't think any of them like form the meta in any way like Oliver, Shizuka and stuff did, but I think they're all like semi-useful.
As a Nephthys Gianna user, I feel like
water.
Fire was really good for
Fire,
Nephthys.
really? Oh, for Nephthys, yeah, that's
for Nephthys, and then the water one's really good for Gianna. So
it's just really hard when you have like one unit that does like that's going to be your only unit that you have that does that one specific thing. So like if your opponent really is punished by the anti-cleanse, they're probably not going to let it through, and if they're not heavily punished by the anti-cleanse, then they're just not really going to care, and she's going to be weaker than maybe another strip would be. That's the only thing that I could see happening with her, is because it's not like most things in this game, if you want them to work and go off, you need two of them, right? Like, you can't just pick one AoE strip, you have to pick two. You can't just let your opponent be like, oh, I don't have any immunity, then I leave the AoE strip, or I do have immunity, I ban the one AoE strip, right? There always has to be two. But she's going to be the only one that does cleanse block, which makes it a little tough.
I think there's so many threats nowadays that like, yeah, I know she's the unit that does the cleanse block, but even if they ban her, you could have like a Masha through or a Dominic through.
It could be valuable as a force ban, definitely.
Yeah,
but
cool.
yeah, I'm interested to see. Like I'm gonna try her a lot. So far, it's the only one I've pulled. I'm gonna keep trying for the water one, but yeah, if you want to bring up the light and dark ones, we can cover those real quick and just.
Oh baby.
It sucks that we can't actually try these in RTA because.
Yeah, why? When?
Yeah.
Try it.
After the season, special league or whatever.
No, special league's apparently 20 star, right?
Yeah, so you can use it in 20 star. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I hate it. I was at work when I pulled the fire one, and then I re-runed so that I could use her when I got home, and then I found out I couldn't use her, and I had to fucking re-rune back to. But I'm excited to try her eventually when you can.
Oh man, I realized I can't use them too. So
yeah. So this dark one, you're gonna have to explain. You said you think this one's crazy. You're gonna have to explain that to me. I think this unit is complete garbage.
I like units that does one thing really well, at least. like okay, like I don't expect like one unit that does everything. Like Gurkha used to do like everything. I get it. That's kind of whack, but
Yeah.
like it's anti-control. You just bring in like Gyo, Masha, Juno, Josephine, and then this girl, or like Ragdoll, Kyo, Josephine, Masha, a combination of those anti-control units and this girl, and it's just like, you know, if they take too much control, you just win with this girl.
But don't you think though that like I think the opposite. I think she has no synergy with those units because if Josephine cleanses her own like inability, then that doesn't do anything. If Juno cleanses her own inability, that doesn't do anything.
Well, let's just say, it goes back to like you saying earlier. There's like not two units that does one thing. So if they bring like I want to say like Tomo, Light Monkey King, Triton, stuff like that. Sean, you bring one of these guys in, and it'll do the job.
Yeah, I just don't like that she because I think like to go to one of Firas LDs, I think Pater is really bad right now, and this seems just strictly worse than Pater to me. Like, because
Pater's not a passive. This is a passive.
Pater is a passive though.
Well, no, you can reset Pater.
Yeah,
like,
you could reset him, but it's like she cleanses one thing, you don't get to choose, and if you Nephthys someone, right? She does no cleansing. They have to have an inability, specifically an inability. They can have every other debuff in the game on them, and she doesn't cleanse.
I'm not saying she's good, but I'm saying like if anyone gets a buff and if she gets a buff, it's gonna be OP.
Yeah, because if she gets a heal, I think that's what she needs. Because right now you just get outpaced. Like not having a heal is just really tough. I would rather have a Raccoony.
I do like her more than Peter.
Huh?
Because she has a bomb and she can't be reset.
Well, her bomb can be reset, but yeah, her cleanse can't be.
So she has the bomb.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the base stats on it? 11. It's actually tankier.
Pretty tanky.
Not even crazy tanky. But it's tankier, but not tanky.
Oh no, it's good. It has a good body.
I don't know, man. Like
I think Raccoony's better. I just do.
I would say Raccoony's better than this. I love Raccoony.
Her and Raccoony is the same thing, except Raccoony doesn't have a bomb. She has a bomb.
Yeah, but he has a 15% heal now, and then he has like he has a recharge skill that can just buff a unit that like boost up a unit that has an impact skill. Like so, he doesn't necessarily have to have his own impact skill. Like I don't know, but if you want to go to the light one, one of my buddies, Jonathan Allen, just pulled this thing today.
Nice.
So
one of my guildies pulled it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is kind of interesting. I don't know if she's good or not, but she's interesting.
Just triple revenge.
Yeah. It is such a toxic triple revenge unit.
Better than Bird.
It is. It really is. But like outside of that, like I don't know. I wish this whole family had a little bit higher base speeds. Just because, other than water, obviously she's got a ridiculous base speed. But like, I just don't like that this unit is like, if you wanted to use it aggressively at all, which you can tell they kind of intend for, it's attack buff, attack bar boost, and attack leader skill. Why would you leave her? We leave her one speed ahead of Bastet? Like I don't know. And you boost less bar. I don't know.
S2 is the S2 is the good skill.
On triple revenge, it doesn't need much.
No, I agree with that build. I definitely agree with that because she has a res awakening too, I think. So that makes it easier as well to do a good triple revenge build.
Yeah, I can see this being a very toxic triple revenge unit.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to I was doing the math and running mental situations, what goes on. And I just see this idiot revenging and then popping off.
You better hope you despair stunner. That's like your only out, really.
Well, how much bar does it gain? 20%.
20.
Right? 20 off the S1.
That's
higher than Escher.
It is higher than Escher. That's the same amount as Volantis, right? So she's still hard countered by like Robos and stuff, which Verd's not, because Verd outboosts their pushback, but she's not going to outboost their pushback.
So she needs to be at least in the Guardian ranks.
If she awakens to resistance, I don't think it's as far off.
You can check if you hold the top right icon. The top right, yes, hold it.
Yeah,
there you go.
Resist. I'm almost thinking you almost have to go like double revenge will, just because like the robos just steal too much bar. If you don't have will, then their steal is 100% activation, right? So they're literally just gonna take 60 bar from you. Just like you gain 20, like okay, I don't know.
But other than robos, I don't like.
Yeah, she's great into more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, more just has to suck it once and it's neutralized.
More, I don't think it needs to be on Will, but like more Gianna, Volantis, all these units that strip. Wow.
It's actually that's pretty good versus Volantis. Actually, yeah. That's a good point. As long as you don't get stunned, it's good. But I mean, you're going for the Hail Mary with her anyway, so just hope for the best.
Yeah. Maybe when we start talking about it out loud with all the potential units you want to take her into, it doesn't even feel like it's that OP anymore. Just Volantis can either stun or provoke it.
Well, almost every stripper now is run on Despair, right? It's really hard to run a Swift stripper now, so
yeah,
you just gotta hope for the best. I mean, it's the same situation Verd's in right now.
Pretty much. The Verd is probably still arguably better. I don't know. Like it is good. I'm sure like somebody who has it, they'd run triple revenge about 1 plus 170 speed. I think that's where your 20 bar is actually gonna be showing that it works, and I would push for max res on it, and that's it. Either triple revenge will or triple revenge or double revenge will. I think that's actually the only way to play this. Putting this on Swift is just asking to be outsped too many times. Like, is it that bad though if it's a Swift unit though? If you have a 220 set on it? And
it's not fast enough, man. At least like
it's worse than Bastet, I think.
I think at least in the rank I'm playing at, like Swift is pretty useless for that. You gotta try to outspeed Shears and
yeah. And it won't matter if like even if you can cleanse the other one.
You need Wedge Out for that.
Hey, I like Wedge Out a lot. I used Wedge Out for a long time, but my only problem with him is he doesn't do it to himself.
I agree. My only problem with him is he doesn't have a correct leader skill. Since we last talked, I pulled a Wedge Out. So
nice, Grant.
Yeah, I mean I love him. I love that unit so much. Like I pulled him a month and a half ago. I think I have 1,100 games of him playing.
I love him too. I actually have an affinity for Wedge Out, but like, how good looking of a unit is he if he heals himself?
I know, that's all he needs. It's like literally all he needs. It's crazy.
Very little too.
But his heal is so strong. Like it just like it keeps your team going just long enough to where you just like pull out games. I love it so much.
Yeah, everything lives except for you, and you die, and then everything else dies. You know?
Yep. And he definitely. Well, it's weird though because it's like it's kind of a cool dynamic because he's like the least threatening unit on the field. So your opponent doesn't want to target him first, but they kind of have to target him first. Otherwise, he just constantly heals your team. So it's like, I don't know. I love him, man. I really. But I need a 28 lead. Come to us. Come on.
He's really good against one meta unit right now.
All of them.
He's really good against this girl.
Yeah, in theory. Yeah. My Robo still usually gets popped with a double crit, but
no, she's really good against Masha.
Yeah, I love it. I love him, but he needs a 28 lead. Come to us. Mi Yang is a 4-star. A water 4-star has a 28 lead. Please.
If you had a choice between him applying passive on himself or 28 lead, which would you choose?
Well, the passive on himself is what I would choose, but that's because that's a buff. The 28 lead is just fixing him. Like Mi Yang, Water Skydancer, 4-star, has a 28 content locked leader skill. He is, as an LD5, has a 24. Come to us. Make it right. For the love of God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like
I think it would be a pretty big deal if he gets that 28. How do you feel about the season, though, Thompson? How are you feeling about this season or on the last 3 days?
This season, it's cool. It's just like it's either you pick the Oliver and you
still
win, or you don't pick the Oliver and you look sack.
Yeah.
Still, does it upset you? Like after the patch, we're still in the exact same spot.
I mean, nothing upsets me, man.
Well, that's true. You are untiltable. This is very true. But I don't do because have you been feeling there's a lot less activity in Sky Arena or not really?
If anything upsetting, I don't want to say I'm a brainless drafter, but if it's anything upsetting, I feel like they made Gurkha from a SSS tier unit to a C tier unit.
Yeah, he's gone.
It was very heavy. All of us agreed at least 5% when we were even physically at the meetup or even when we spoke about it for podcast. Like
always embarrassed.
At least 5%.
Because I'm afraid I get scrutinized. People just go, "Oh, you just suck at drafting. Bring a healer. Like you're dumb, you know."
Oh, don't listen to them. They don't even know what they're
like, he really is like, man, that heal. Wow, they just took it out.
Like the problem is though, it's like if you asked most Gurkha owners, they would tell you they'd rather just have his heal back and just revert it back to a 1-turn provoke. He somehow landed in a worse position than before, which it's like that should never be the case. Like, go back on the buff that you gave him, but don't do it in a way where you put him in a worse position from where he was prior to getting a buff. Like, because I feel like at least when he had the heal, he was always a threat to solo a team. Like, 1-turn provoke, whatever, 2-turn doesn't matter. Like, if he's healing that much to himself every single time something touches him that's provoked, he's got a chance to solo. But that's just like not a thing anymore. So I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Why? Just revert his buff and maybe think of something else. I don't know, but don't just gut his heal.
I'll be happy with like a 5% recovery. Like that.
Anything, cool. Literally any number is good for him. It gives him the chance to solo.
Yeah,
I'm glad I have friends that don't have Gurkha that could agree with me.
Yeah, and I despise that unit, but I always feel bad when people get their unit just kicked out from underneath them.
Yeah, that's what, I'm not too pissed, but there's some people that like are a little bit more reliant on Gurkha. Like there's a few players we know that
there's a lot. There's a lot of people who are pretty reliant on him.
Yeah,
like, me Gurkha and without Gurkha same rank, you know. But,
yep.
Like some people like Gurkha is really like, and Gurkha runes are really hard to like. His set is really hard to farm.
Yeah.
Like his even his artifacts where it's like you need like recovery, accuracy on skill 1, skill 2.
Yep.
It's his set is really hard to farm, and then after you farm it and then they nerf him, kind of sucks. Yeah.
Yep.
Even re-app for it because you're like, there's no way they're gonna gut him to this kind of point, right? I think it feels the worst for the people like this is their only usable LD5.
Well, that's the shitty part, right?
And they were like on a fucking pedestal, and then
especially because they have to sit there and watch like Yan Hong, in my opinion, is still the best LD5 in the game. It's like, how long is she gonna be the best? And then my Gurkha gets nerfed 2 patches after his buff.
You don't think Veronica is the strongest?
Okay, I forgot about Veronica. Yeah, Veronica's the strongest. Yan Hong is second.
There's a lot to list now. There's actually a lot to list now.
Yeah, I Young Hong. Yo, I'm wearing Young Hong shirt.
There you go.
Don't make me bring mine out. I don't know where it is.
Young Hong does have a few natural weaknesses. Like nowadays, like if they draft something like Masha and Leo, it's just like gives you a lot of headache, you know, with what type of team you bring into with Young Hong.
Yeah, she's just so versatile though. It's like it's just so ridiculous. And like even if you could put her on double Nem or something if you wanted to, everyone you fight still has to honor the fact that it might be swift and outspeed everything that they pick. It might be violent and just clap your whole team with procs. It's like you could literally put her on anything, and like what she does in the draft, like the way your opponent has to react to her is just so powerful. She could be on literally any build, and your opponent has to treat her.
The best ones are the swift ones.
Oh, of course. She's such a versatile Swift unit. That's why I'm really happy that Water Puppet came out, because
Yes, exactly.
she's very similar.
Big V and Madreams D play against each other every year. And every year, Madreams D never figures out why. I never figure out why every year Madreams D just doesn't pick a Swift Young Hong. He always like
Yeah.
let Big V get like a Swift Barbara or like the Swift Tableau.
Yeah.
Like the same thing every year. You play the same guy, man.
Yeah.
No,
One day-
I can't beat Big V too because he kicks my ass every year as well. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm like, yo, you guys play against each other 4 times a year, you know, in 4 years.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's
Figure
just,
it out.
but like, I just feel bad. Like, if you had your LD nerfed, and LD nerfs do not happen often, and yours happens after 2 seasons of your unit being really good, and you have to look at Yan Hong and Gianna and Veronica and whoever, like, it's like, fuck me, man. Like, how much have I spent? Like, I pulled this one goddamn unit, and now he's gone. Like,
The worst thing about Gurkha right now is people say like nowadays Gurkha, you ruin him in one like kind of like a faster violent way, but actually the correct way to ruin Gurkha now is like triple revenge.
You have to.
High accuracy, slow, and you run it in a slow team, and it's just like full like that's the way you use Gurkha right now. You bring it with like a Riley or Molly and then Gurkha, but everything's slow, tanky, max resist. Who likes to play like
it just makes him feel like just another unit. It's like this could have been Antares. This could have been like it didn't have to be Gurkha. You know what I mean? Like I'm just using Gurkha because I have Gurkha at that point. Like you could put anything in that role. There's so many units that work in that role, and yeah,
Towers probably would fit that spot better when I think about it.
yeah,
It's a shame. It's actually a shame. We didn't want that hard of it. Like we wanted him nerfed, but not to that extent. It does. It's an actual feels bad for like anyone who that was like their crutch.
But players we don't feel bad for are Veronica owners, because that nerf did nothing.
Yes. What do you mean? Just use.
That's the problem.
I know.
The skill like Rika.
Yeah, it's
Use hard. What do you mean? Just use one of the rabbits. You use Ravidi or use what's his name?
Yeah.
Proa.
the thing is though. It's like her raw damage from that skill is insane. Forget the dots. Just she puts everything to half. Like
Yeah,
right?
you know why? Because like a lot of times I bring in Juno against Veronica and I still lose.
Yeah, the raw damage is insane. It doesn't even fuck the dots. She does half your health with the
You're
skill.
saying because Veronica fucks me raw, that's why I lose?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that unit is so ridiculous. But then you got like Marvin, who's every day on his stream wants her buffed before she got nerfed. He thinks she's bad. It's like, okay,
What?
dude.
What? Marvin? You tripping balls?
Yeah, he wants Veronica to be buffed because because he doesn't like that she's a double accuracy check, but Gianna's not.
What?
I don't know. It's the best unit in the game.
Fire
Like I don't know what
Beastie.
else he wants, dude.
Oh my god. He's been LD fed for too long now. He's got LD in his head.
Marvin, his is not on Swift. That's why.
Is it? I don't even know.
He's not.
That's his own
Because
problem.
if your Veronica's not on Swift, you're not using Veronica right.
No.
I mean, she's
Why
the
would you
most
have it?
she's the most blatantly obvious Swift unit you could ever imagine. Like I don't know why. It's like the game is ruining her for you.
Fair, or some people have it on Violent, but she has to be on Swift. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
104
I
base
wouldn't put
speed, dude.
anything
It's
other
too
than
good.
A person that would say Veronica needs a buff does not have it on Swift. Or it's on Swift, but it's plus 200 speed.
Yeah,
Hey, poor boys. The poor Veronica owners.
dude. That unit is just they got to nerf her again. It's like, and you hate to like double nerf her, but what the fuck was this nerf? It was nothing. It does nothing. Even if she's against the shield set, she breaks the shield set. And then she
Very
strips the will
easily.
anyways. It's useless.
How are they gonna nerf her again? I can't see a way.
The damage on S2 is
I would
the only
nerf the
way.
damage, yeah. Because
Oh,
all
just
the
damage on S2.
that's what I would do, or like remove
Okay.
the glancing hit from it or something, because like that provides like way too much utility.
Because I think even if you nerf the damage on skill 2, the continuous damage, the cooldown reset by 2 turns, is still huge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's just so busted. Like I don't even know where you begin. I mean, you could make the third skill a 1-turn cooldown reset. That way, like some people at least have like a hope of maybe procking out of her lockdown. But I think Veronica owners would have a fucking a fit if she lost that. I don't know. Maybe they make that. I forgot that was 3 to 4 hits. Maybe they. I mean, they should at least start by dropping that down to 3, just guaranteed 3. But I don't know.
It's a multi-hit based on speed, and what else are you gonna put on this unit? And then top artifacts on top of speed scaling.
Dude, her base stats are fucking incredible. She awakens into accuracy.
Insane.
It's just like she doesn't need crit rate like a Gianna. Like she's so easy to build and so powerful. It's like it's just ridiculous.
I can't believe Marvin is wanting a buff for this thing.
Some people you can't
Marvin,
please.
Come on, dude, Marvin. Oh,
he wants a buff for the unit that like catapulted him about 300 ranks after pulling her.
Is that true?
He's in like top 30 right now.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Check it right now, I guess.
What was the only thing to change on his account? A Veronica. What do you know?
Who's he? Marvin?
X-Knight, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's right there.
Yeah,
18.
not Marvin. He's higher than you, Thompson. Shit.
Oh, shit. A lot of people higher than me, man. Shit.
You just gotta go pull a Veronica. You'll be good.
Yeah, you just need a Veronica. That's all.
I'm just chilling, man.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we're not shitting on Marvin.
No. It's just, but that unit does not need a nerf.
The top 5.
Or does not need a buff, I mean.
Oh, by China, man. This guy.
Yeah.
These two got bullied out.
Yep.
Oh my god, these people got bullied out. Like, it's not controlled, man.
Yeah.
Mostly Veronica owners, except for Alex.
Well, this meta, more than any meta that I've ever experienced, is like way more LD driven. So like, if you've got really powerful combinations, or even just one super good one, like a Veronica or something like that, like it's a big deal. Like more than it ever was before, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm having a really hard time trying to have a consistent comp that can like pivot to multiple scenarios, just because there's everything under the sun feels like it's being used right now, which is like what we always wanted, but at the same time it doesn't feel like that when everyone's core seems to be the same with the, which is counter picks, like 3 counter picks, and it's even worse when you don't own those counter picks. I don't know. It's a meta you want to love, but you can't love it. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
For me, I feel like it's either you get the Oliver and you win, or you play second turn. That's it.
Like, I know, but like if you don't have the second turn units, it's like I'm just fucking suffering. It just feels like that to me, and I can't contend.
You have Gil, you have Masha.
I have those 2, yes, but like
Juno?
He doesn't have Juno.
I'll never have a Juno, dude. Or a Bellio.
You have Ragdoll?
Dude.
Yeah.
And I wish I could use my Patter or my Nyx, hypothetically good turn 2 units, but
not
hypothetically, it's not against
Oliver.
No.
Oliver poops on Hater.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, there's just way too many, like the regular element units are so strong that it's like you basically, like Firas said, you fight a pretty similar core every game, and then what accentuates it is which LDs do they own that are going to come with it, because it's like even if you find a strategy that maybe beats the Shizuka Masha core pretty consistently, the second that you run into the guys who have the LDs that counter the counters, it's like, well, fuck. Like, if you're like, my core is countered super heavily by Tian Lang, specifically because I use Wedgeot and Robos and Verds and shit like that. But like, it just makes it tough. Like, as soon as you fight, or like, I'm countered pretty hard by Ragdoll too. So it's like, as soon as, which in G3, it's pretty common shit to come alongside the Shizuka
common.
and stuff. So it's just hard. I don't know. But it's all centered around Shizuka and those units being so individually powerful that it's like, here's my Tian Lang, counters your whole team, but here's Shizuka, who's super fucking strong. Which one do you want to ban? Like,
the annoying part about Shizuka is like stripper because everyone's Shizuka is on max resist.
Yep.
But also like you find out that you strip her, you stun her, and she violently
just procs.
Your team's dead
Every fucking time, dude.
There's just no winning.
It's like one in every 10 games my Wind Robo actually stuns her and she just procs out. And it's like, okay. In all the other games she just 15 reses it because that's just how it goes. But she's just so powerful. Like, whenever you have a unit that all that they need to swing an entire game is one single proc, that's a unit that's too strong. Like, it just is. Like, I don't know. There's not many other units that do that. Like, snap of a finger, proc, game's completely swung in the other direction.
Yeah.
It's just really hard.
A very aggressive 180 too every single time. It's not even like a slow 180 that you see, oh, this match just became 180. Like, after this Shizuka proc, it's like a very, like, quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like fucking gives you whiplash how quick that the match goes 180 off that.
Yeah.
Like, it's an aggressive 180. Like, fuck. I just say, I'm having a hard time. I don't know, dude. Because I'm trying a multitude of stuff. I'm trying to be positive, you know, for the guys too who, like, in my Discord or in come to stream. Mind you, I haven't been streaming because I've been suffering from sickness still. You know, and I'm trying to, like, keep everybody positive and playing fucking Skyrim, you know, but I'm just having a hard ass time, dude. I'm having a really hard time trying to keep it together.
You been tanking on purpose this whole season, and all of a sudden you're trying to not tank? What's going on?
No,
he hasn't been playing. He's been a Chronicles main.
Well, Chronicles gave me the excuse to, like, lay off Sky Arena because I got frustrated for too long, and then Chronicles came out, and then I stuck in Chronicles. But I want to play. I do want to play, but it's just like fucking. I go back in it, and then I don't know. Like, today, I was farming all day. I felt happy to farm today for some dumb reason. So maybe I'm crawling back to Sky Arena slowly, but it's just I don't know. It's just trying. If you have any advice for people like me who are just trying to topple and have a little bit of self-control in this meta, what the fuck would it be?
It's either you get Oliver or
that's it. It's just that.
No. Or you just go your aggressive route and run your Water Ryu. You know, like, it's either you run the Water Ryu and run your Water Ryu team, or run the Oliver and run the Oliver team. Right?
So boring. So boring.
Yeah. Well, the struggle with that is, like, that's the frustrating route, right? So, because it's like, if you go that route, what you're going to fight is the really frustrating units. Like, the counters to Oliver and stuff like that, there are some, but they're not pleasant to fight because it's units like Antares and Verd and, like, shit like that. So Leo, Ragdoll, like, which no one likes to fight those cops, but it's a tough one. I don't know. I wish they would have done a better job nerfing him, and I wish Shizuka at least got, like, some representation on that balance patch. Like, they could almost do anything to her and it would be better than what she is now. Like, I don't know.
Firas, what rank are you in?
I'm C3 right now.
Isn't it just like, if they get the Oliver, you just go like Ryu Chung Pong?
No, I'm still outsped. I'm plus 180s and I get outsped by the 33s. It's great. I don't know how it is.
What?
That's just, everyone's faster than me now all of a sudden.
No. There's something wrong in your trap to tell you. You don't lose with your runes like that, guys.
Oh, I fucking lose, dude. I've been going through it for the last 8 months.
Oh, wow.
If my Nick's 184, if I don't have a 33 lead with him, I get outsped.
Well, you don't have
I'm
to
not,
pick picks till way later. I think the meta. It's just the
I'm,
meta.
I'm not saying I've been taking it, but I'm saying as an example, that's like that kind of, that's lingering. So then I would first pick my Oliver,
Okay.
but then it doesn't like feel good if I just like violent proc them to death, which is I guess just the
Feels
fucking
really
MO.
good. What are you talking about?
Oh, does it?
I'm
just
I
missing
feel like
out.
my win rate with Oliver is like 70%, and then my win rate without Oliver is like negative 70%. I don't know why it's that good.
See, it's weird. Like, I mean, we have different play styles, but like for me, I since his nerf, I don't like him. I don't use him, and I don't mind fighting him really. But
Like, if you pick Oliver, they can't really outspeed you.
they can anyway.
Okay, but like, okay, right? I guess I'm just saying 33 lead is harder to outspeed than 24 is what I'm saying.
But like
You're right.
I just have a better time. Like, it's easier for me to win a draft and win a game when they do attempt to outspeed. So I like to give them the Oliver because that does usually entice people into like, oh, I can actually go turn one this game, and then no, they can't.
Give them the Oliver on purpose so they can outspeed you, but they can't outspeed you is what you're telling me.
Yes, because if
Oh,
I
wow.
take the Oliver, then they're just going to immediately abandon even attempting to outspeed, and then that's the type of team I do not want to fight. So
Then how do you outspeed stuff like Sekhmet or Eshir or like Triton and stuff like that? You know.
what do you mean? I mean, I use those units too if I need to.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
But I mean,
He's also
mostly
super
like,
fast.
I mean, most units. I mean, some people are catching on, but like my wedge out is very, very, very fast. So usually 24 versus 24, I still outspeed Sekhmets and Eschers and stuff. But if
your wedge outspeed Eshir,
yeah, usually
Yeah.
there is 0% chance a Sekhmet can outspeed Eshir.
you mean a wedge out?
A wedge can outspeed Eshir, no matter how good your runes are.
It just depends on the Escher. I mean,
Really?
like I wouldn't outspeed that one specifically, but against you,
No.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But like these like high speed base monsters, how do you outspeed these things? You know.
I mean, the problem is like it's just a numbers game, right? Like the average person that you're pulling in G2 and G3 doesn't commit that set to those units because most people are playing turn 2.
Bro, no, G2 and G3, like these like Sekhmets go really fast, man.
But like even Sekhmet, it's like my team is not punished by Sekhmet at all.
But like how
you
about
can't
heal block? It's pretty painful, no?
Well, the thing is though is for one, on turn 1 there's nothing to reset because I run 3 strips, 3 AoEs and a wedge out and you can't reset wedge out, he boosts anyways. So it's like you can't, there's nothing to reset. Even if you do reset one of the robos or something, the other robo just goes and does everything, and then my follow-up AoE unit goes and does everything and whatever. If you reset wedge out, he boosts anyway.
Sekhmet.
Huh?
You're not that worried about Sekhmet.
Yeah, Sekhmet I don't really concern myself with unless I look at it and I go, okay, that's literally the only thing that's going to outspeed. I might as well ban it. But
like the Sekhmet owners will make you draft a lot of like things, and then all of a sudden like throw in the Sekhmet, and you're like, oh shit, like
yeah,
I overdid it, you know?
yeah.
Like,
A lot of people go early on the Sekhmet though. I think Scribble has kind of like trained people to pick it because he does really well with it. Where second round after his more pick, he's already throwing his Sekhmet in to just kind of like either get people to back off or like just secure it so he doesn't have to fight it. Like she comes out pretty early, and then whenever I see Sekhmet, I just load up on AoEs. Like here's 4 reset targets. You can't reset all of them. Go go for it, you know. But
I gotta run that then.
But yeah, I just don't.
I gotta run something.
I don't know. It's just Oliver specifically. Because the thing is, like Oliver was nerfed heavily if his team gets outsped, right? If my team goes first and I'm at 0 attack bar on everything because all of my shit just moved and did their thing, even if your Oliver like procs out of the stun that I put on him or whatever, there's nothing to do. You can't. You suck 0 bar now.
And pretty much already used all your skills too. There's nothing to cool down.
Yeah, well, he just doesn't get any bar. His
Yeah.
chain is just broken right from the jump if you outspeed his team. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Except for me. Somehow
I
still
use props though. Still using Wedget. I
He's
I
so
really like
good, man.
Huh?
He's so good.
He's good, but I just like some stuff he in his kit really like pisses me off.
It does, yeah. It's annoying, like when you're just like when you're fighting all these teams, like when you see a Juno and she heals herself back to 80% while healing the rest of the team, and you're like, wish my Wedgeot could do that, but I guess he just can't heal himself for whatever reason.
Have you tried like the Wedget Molong comp? It's kind of fun too.
Like with a violent Wedgeot? I've tried that.
Swift Wedget, and then like Vampire Molong or Violent Molong.
Oh, I use Vampire Molong in the comp I'm doing right now. It's not really like it's not really it's not like he's not part of my core, but I use him a lot versus Ragdoll teams. So
Oh yeah. Oh, like Molong Dominic
yep.
stuff.
Yeah, I have a ridiculous. I just have like a balls to the wall Dominic, like plus 2700 attack on violent. Just try,
2700.
yeah, just try to kill something immediately.
I thought I have the best Dominic in the world.
Yours is better than mine. Yours is way faster and way tankier.
Attack.
That's a scary ass Dominic.
Yeah,
The more I
yours
look at
yours
that,
is
what the
significantly better than mine. Mine is specifically just to fight teams who have sacrificed turn one, and I just try to kill something.
Then why don't you just use like Suki or Kaki?
I do use Suki. I don't use Kaki, but
Suki is your Suki on Triple Revenge?
Yeah.
Is that the way? Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool.
I like the
Also
Violent
for
Revenge.
Ragdoll teams. All my pivot picks are for Ragdoll teams specifically. Yeah.
Which is like ends up being your core because everybody has a fucking Ragdoll anyway. Can't escape it. Every second match is a Ragdoll match.
Yep.
I love it.
I mean, it's really scary into like you guys pick water right you often.
No.
Reluctantly, I am.
Okay.
I don't want to though.
Yeah. You
I
don't
have-
pick water?
I have it ruined up, but it's like once in a blue moon that I actually use it.
I thought you were using it more than me.
My comp
What
is I first pick Violent Revenge Verd, and then just so that I have it and my opponent can't triple Revenge Verd me. Then I go Wedgeot Robo. I just pulled the Dark Robo today, so
Right.
it'll be Wedgeot Dark Robo, and then I go
Good.
Wind Robo, second speed lead if I need it, or second AoE if I don't need second speed
So
lead.
you just skill 2ing all the time.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
If my stuff's landing, my opponent does not move ever. The Robo steals so much more. It's so unfair, but
the
like-
skill 2. The skill
Yep.
2 is great. Yeah. You'll like Dark Robo a lot. Grats on Dark Robo. 'Cause it
Thanks.
doesn't grind.
he was
Like
like my
Wind Robo-
most wanted, man. I was so happy to pull.
The problem with Wind Robo is like they just need to pick like one fire unit or 2 fire unit, and
Yep.
your skill 3 is like garbage. You know?
Yep.
Not garbage. But you know what I mean? Like nerf.
Yeah, it becomes like nerve wracking to click it.
Like this has been happening to me a few times. Like I pick Masha and the Wind Robo stuns my Masha. This
Yeah,
happened like
that's the best feeling when Wind Robo finally lands it, because like you spend half your day just getting your ass kicked by Masha, and then finally Wind Robo stuns one. You're like, yeah, let's go.
oh.
Yeah,
No, Dark Robo. Grats on Dark Robo because it doesn't grind.
yeah.
Also, I talked about it with Absi, and then like I didn't know this, but the third skill doesn't proc despair stuns every hit.
Correct. It's the first hit on each thing it touches.
Yeah. I thought it like because it's 8 random targets or something.
Wait. No, yeah, wait. His is supposed to activate it on every hit.
It doesn't. Like well, Absi told me he did like 7 million test runs and he confirmed it. But yeah, it's just I didn't test it myself.
Huh.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying because I know for a fact, and maybe this is something that they changed recently because Lume got so popular out of nowhere, but Kung Fu Girls used to be able to despair stun on every individual hit. Like you could hit the same unit 3 times, and the third one despair stuns it. Like But I don't know. Maybe they like shadow nerfed that because Liu Mei got so toxic and popular. Like I don't know, because that's how that always worked. But if you're saying that doesn't work anymore, then that's weird.
I thought that's how it worked
Yeah.
until Abzi said it's not how it worked, and then
I mean I believe him. He's had that unit for a while, so I'm sure he tested it pretty extensively. But that kind of stinks. I thought he would despair stun on each hit.
for me, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna put it back on Swift because I like the Swift with Pod. So.
Yeah, I see. I don't know how to build him yet. The games I was just doing, I was using despair. Like before we jumped on here.
Right now, like this build I have on him is pretty legit.
I just hate Josephine, man. She's so annoying. So I was like, do I go violent? Do I go? I don't know. I'll have to keep trying stuff. Of course, I pull this shit 3 days before the season ends. Like, yeah, perfect time to test shit. But I don't.
I like despair a lot. I like despair. So go despair.
Because I use a lot of Fire Robo too, who I also have on despair.
Fire Robo. Is it just me where Fire Robo skill 1 stuns like 80% time?
It's the best. I love him. Everyone's like, Obabo's like, oh, you got Dark Robo, you can cut the Fire Robo now. I'm like, dude, I'm closer to cutting the Wind Robo. Like, I love the Fire Robo. He's so good.
Yeah, the Wind Robo, the Fire Robo skill 1, I feel like it's like skill 1 stuns more often than Josephine.
Well, you know the way his passive works, right? Where it's like, if something gives him bar, his stun becomes 100%.
Oh, that's why. Oh,
yeah. So like, if an Antares procs,
so many LDs.
Yeah,
he doesn't read the fire units.
Yeah. Well, no, a lot of people don't know that. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, because someone was giving me shit in like a Twitch chat the other day because I kept stunning his Antares every time it moved. And he's like, you're so lucky. And I'm like, no, the Fire Robos, every time your Antares moves, you charge my S1 to be 100%. So that's why I get to just continuously keep it down. Like, it never gets to move.
If there are like really sweaty moments, I'm like, man, I need to stun this Shizuka.
Yep.
Whoa, it's stun the Shizuka? Like, I'm a god.
As long as you're charged by your passive, and it works on his second skill too. If something charges your passive, his second skill becomes 100% chance to strip, 100% chance to absorb attack bar.
Oh, I actually, I have his set on my Karaka right now.
Well, I mean, Kraka's pretty good too, dude. I mean, it's not a bad unit to change it to.
It's on my Karaka, man. Like, yo, I don't have that many runes to go around.
I mean, Crack is a beast, so, I mean, you can be forgiven for that. But I love Fire Robo. He's so good. Like, every time a Josephine goes off, gives him his passive, you can just go stun something. It's just so good.
Good to know. Hear from a pro.
The Robo Pro.
The Robo Pro, yeah.
Robo Pro.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I gained some sort of knowledge out of this, and I'm trying to. What could I run?
You could run Robo.
Yeah.
I don't have the dark one, but I could run the
Fire
other
Robo?
one. I do have the fire and wind one, yeah.
There you
But
go.
it doesn't synergize with Nyx, right? That's the problem.
No, I'm not using Nyx, dude. I don't use Nyx. I use Nyx unless I'm memeing on somebody. That's when I use Nyx.
I don't know. Like, isn't Sekhmet, Nyx, Water IU still decent or no?
It's good, yeah. It's just like the thing is though is Firas doesn't like to pivot. So if he runs a comp that is boosted by pivoting, which I'm the same way. I don't like to pivot either, so I don't use a comp that pivots. But like,
what's wrong with you guys?
But like,
we're idiots.
But the thing is though, it's like if you have Nyx in Sekhmet and Water Ryu, like you should have a turn 2 pivot because like I mean Water Ryu is just as good of a turn 2 unit as he is a turn 1 unit. Same with Nyx. Sekhmet is just like that constant threat where it's like if you leave her and the speed lead, then you have to give me first turn. But if you ban one of them, then you fight the whole rest of the comp. Like, but you have to be like prepared for your last 2 picks to be degen picks sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to become a degen. That's my problem. I'm not like I just can't do it. I just can't like bring myself down to like a level where I'm just like I don't mind taking Josephine if it calls for Josephine just because there's a minor. But by the time I think about taking Josephine, she's been taken from me. because of first pick Ryu as an example. It's just not a good feeling. And then like, what am I gonna take? I'll take Wind Monkey.
Yeah. Well,
Your best set on this girl. Isn't like Sierra Nick still really good, or is
I tried to rune a Sierra again.
okay.
Like I was just doing it like earlier this morning.
Yeah.
I just threw it back into storage. I just can't get. She does like a Masha just breathes on a Sierra and she's gone.
I
Like,
know.
It kills me. It's not that I'm opposed to it, but it's like Masha right now. Like unless I first pick Masha, but I also have to first pick a Shizuka, but I also have to first pick Oliver. Like I can't first pick all this shit and then just to make a Sierra Nyx work. It's so there's so much shit going on.
With Firas runes, wouldn't Sierra Nyx counter Masha? Because like Masha's not on Will.
If you're first picking Ryu, I think you could get through her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said Ryu first.
Yeah.
Like just thinking, like you could just.
You're still gonna have those games where you just brick everything and she beats you,
Yes.
but I mean that's just Summoner's War. But yeah, I don't know.
If you drop a bomb on Sierra for drop a bomb on Masha first turn, then Masha
Yeah.
getting is a big deal.
Yeah, you just gotta land. That's all.
Yeah, and then I gotta somehow deal with the
Yeah.
Josephine after I stun the Masha. I already have the whole thing mapped out in my head. I already know what comes out of it.
I mean, if you want the real low of the low though, you rune up your Douglas and you.
My Douglas is always ruined. I just never take it.
I hate that unit with every fiber of my being.
Douglas is more oppressive than.
It's the worst. He's so much. Yeah, I know. I went off about that when they nerfed Gurkha and Douglas is nowhere to be found. He's better than Gurkha. In every way, shape, and form, he's better than Gurkha.
Yeah.
No one wants to admit that he is an overpowered unit because he's bailing people out left and right.
I got fucked so bad by Douglas recently. You know what it was? Someone drafted Han, Nikki, Nephthys, Unsa, and then I'm like, oh,
Yep. I know the player you're talking about. He does it every fucking time, dude.
It's Douglas.
Yep.
Oh my god. Again, the Douglas I lost, yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
I know that exact player that you're talking about because it's like you see his draft and you're like, I gotta bring out my Triton. I don't like to do it, but I gotta, because you know what's happening as soon as you pick Triton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh I just fucked up.
So degenerate. That's literally peak degenerate.
No one wants to admit he's overpowered though. It's like if you even bring, like, we're gonna get comments on this video because we even spoke about him being maybe a little bit too. I promise you, we're going to.
Ryu Masha deals with the Douglas really well. And
Yeah. Well, like that's the
they
thing.
do.
Like if you want to tailor your team to not losing, like automatically losing to that one counter pick, you can do it. But I don't like the constrictive team building that causes. You know what I mean? I think Triple Revenge Vert is the same way. Like I don't want to be constricted in my team building to where it's like you better stay within these parameters or this one unit is gonna just 1v4 you every time. And it's like
you can't pick Chung Pong too freely. You can't pick Wind Robo too freely. You know?
Yep. You can't pick any unit of any element if they're low attack. He beats them all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Water. I've had my
Praha. Oh my god.
I've had my more lose to him, and my more is ridiculous. Like I have 2100 attack. I'm a water unit, and I lose.
Your more has more attack than mine?
A lot more, yeah.
Oh,
you and I have similar mores, and this is not enough attack for the same thing. Like, oh, you have to get more attack on your more. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
My more set's crazy, but
21?
Yeah.
Wow.
I still have max accuracy too, 15 crit rate. He's a beast, but I just don't trust that unit, so I almost never use him.
It's insulting to rune qualities when they make units like Douglas, right? Gurkha was in that same realm, but then like they took him down too far. We already spoke about
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
but I take my Praha with like the fucking most juiciest runes on earth, and then I just have a Douglas kill my Praha.
Yep. Casually. It's like not even a question.
There's no struggle in it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, but we need Douglas." I'm like, my water and fire units who have a acceptable amount of attack. Well, apparently not. Well, maybe not Praha, but like my Moore. My Moore just looking just very similar to yours, Thompson. Right? And you know it. Your Moore is gonna glance on Fire or Douglas how many times?
Oh, it doesn't.
What the fuck, man? Why? Why not?
My Moore doesn't
lie to
fire
me.
right you, all right? If I let the fire right you through, it's okay.
What?
I don't believe
That pisses me off.
That's what it is, man. I don't know. I seen your fire right you though. It's sick. It's like on like speed attack or something like that. Like
mine is triple attack
or something, right?
Mine? Whose?
No, I seen Firas's.
Yeah.
Mine. Yeah, speed attack. Yes.
Yeah,
That's,
mine's yoked, but I
was
refuse to pick him.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I was hoping that I moved my Douglas runes over to a Carlos because I thought he would be like a more fun way to kind of use that same set. And it's like there's just no competing with what Douglas can do. Like he's a 100% win condition versus certain teams, and you can't get better than that.
Yeah. And the Comptos just puts themselves in these positions, right? They keep giving the wind units all the AoE pushback for some dumb reason, and then they're forced to make these absurd fire units to counter it, and it's a shitty sense of balancing in a game like this, when you have 5 colors you're trying to manage as if it's a card game like Magic, literally like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Now, do you love that comparison, Thompson? That people like to say, a specific person that we both know that like to say that Summoner's War is loosely based off, well, not even loosely, it's heavily based off Magic the Gathering with the 5 colors, and that one color's dominant in this, and then the other color's dominant in this, and then the other color's dominant in this, and then they're supposed to balance each other and make some sort of draft, but it doesn't really turn out that way.
Yeah, but
does it?
Wind will be more like water, and then water will be more like
fire. I think fire is supposed to right now is more like blue in terms of Magic Blue. Summoner's War red is more like Magic Blue to me. But actually, no, blue
is control. So blue will be like wind.
No, I feel like blue is more like just counter everything. That's why I was saying blue is actually more like blue now that I think about it.
Sure. Well, no. Fire in this game, fire is most of the counter picks,
right? But
wind is most of like the aggressive control, and then water is mostly supports, right? Whenever a family gets like a support, it's almost always the fucking water one for whatever reason.
That's true, and that's true to even them with the puppeteers. But I don't feel like that balance is like really balanced right now.
It doesn't work because you have the LDs that just throw a wrench in it, right? Because it's like it's way too detrimental right now to even think about picking 2 wind units. Like you just Masha, Juno, Douglas, they will just run you over the second you take a second wind unit. But there's only 3 elements that are actually truly accessible, so it's like you gotta pick 2 of one of them, unless you have LDs, right? Like you don't really have a choice. You have to make 5 picks, and there's only 3 elements that are accessible. So you gotta take 2 of them. So
I gotta start using more cookies. That's the only my LD cookies, and hope they do something.
Next season, I'm going hard on the Fire Holly Berry Wedgeot combination. See how that goes. Get that defense buff up, block all damage.
If Fire Holly Berry gets buffed, yes, it's good.
She does need a buff. She's really bad right now.
Well, like her skill 3 is awesome. Her skill 1 and 2 sometimes does nothing.
Yeah.
Like skill 2 doesn't stun, and then skill 1 doesn't provoke, then it does nothing.
Yeah.
I think the issue with her is that she's forced to be built on Swift. And that's it.
Because you can't, if you proc, you're fucked.
Yeah, like they should remove that if she procs, she gets herself out of her S3. Kind of like
well, they need to make her S3 have no cooldown. That's what they need to do. That's it.
Make it a passive, right?
Or no, just a skill with no cooldown.
So
that way, so you have to choose: do I click this turn and get my protection up, or do I click one of my other skills? And if she violent procs, then you can just re-click it if you have to, if that's the skill you really want to use.
then couldn't you just like indefinitely stall by spamming S3 if it just wasn't a passive already? But I guess like it.
Well, no, I mean it's not that hard to hit through her shield. Like, I mean,
I've
it's a
seen a lot
good
of
it's a
ones.
good shield versus like reasonable stuff. But like Masha still like shatters it. Like she does like 10k through the fucking fired Hollyberry S3.
Wow, okay, then I don't know. That's
It just
it's gotta be
depends on the
tough.
units here. Like it just like Dominic does a lot less because he does it in the form of a million little hits.
Yeah.
So she just drops all those little hits down to 0 damage, and then you take like nothing. But yeah, before we get on a tangent about making the cookies good, though, we can end it there. We've been going for a while.
Well, I need to actually go get my daughter, so I need to go. Worst
Yeah.
case, I actually need to leave like right this second.
Okay, but yeah,
So
thank you
goodbye,
so much
everyone.
for joining
Thank
us,
you,
Thompson.
I'm teleporting
You guys-
right now.
Yep. All right.
Thanks for having me.
First
Yeah,
pick
no
Oliver.
problem. Yeah, first pick Oliver. All right. Peace out.